So you have downloaded our Senior Manager Function application guide, and I thought I'd follow up with just a very quick video to help you understand the steps that you need to take in order to complete your application for a Senior Manager function with the FCA. Essentially, you need to log into Connect and complete, first of all, the forms on Connect. They're pretty basic information about the senior manager, and it's long form A that you typically need to complete. And in there, it's about the individual's background, personal details, address, employment history, for example. So you go in there and you complete that. But alongside that long form A, you also need to submit some key documentation to the FCA. The most important is the fit and proper assessment. This is assessing whether the individual is fit to undertake the role that they're applying for. And it's an assessment that needs to be completed by your organization as part of your recruitment process. So the fit and proper assessment needs to be guided by FIT in the FCA handbook, and it's FIT 2.1 to 2.3. So as part of that, you cover FIT 2.1, which is honesty, integrity, and reputation. So is there anything from the individual's background or history which could call into question their honesty and integrity? Now, as part of that, you will be undertaking regulatory reference requests, because one of the steps that you are required to complete as part of your recruitment of the senior manager is to ask for a regulatory reference going back 6 years for any or from any FCA or PRA regulated firm that they have worked for. That's different from your typical reference request, because the regulatory reference, the responding firm has to include certain information on it. And that's whether the individual's been punished because of a breach of the conduct rules to the level that they've been disciplined with a formal written warning or something more serious. Or if there's any finding that they haven't been fit and proper because they've failed one of these fit and proper assessments that we're talking about, or if there's been any upheld complaint about the individual. So, for example, harassment cases from colleagues and that sort of thing. So the responding firm has to include that information, and if they have broken the conduct rules and been disciplined, then the firm cannot choose to exclude that from the reference. So therefore, it can be a really valuable source of information to ascertain whether there is potentially integrity or honesty issues with the individual. So you make sure you have asked for that reference, and you have to have asked for it as part of your recruitment, and then factor that into your FIT 2.1 section of your fit and proper assessment. Also, criminal record checks can be very useful at this point as well, for obvious reasons. Your middle section, if you like, of your fit and proper assessment is covered by FIT 2.2, and that is competence and capability. Now, you would have always done this anyway. No firm's going to recruit somebody unless they think they are competent to fill the role. So that is their CV review, or their CV that you've reviewed, their interview notes, for example, that you would include at this part of the fit and proper assessment. They don't have to be perfect, and that's worth noting. It's rare that the perfect candidate would walk through the door. So just be aware that they don't have to be perfect at this point, but suitably fit to undertake the role, suitably competent. And then finally, the last section, guided by FIT 2.3, is financial soundness. So whether that's credit checks, their track record of managing businesses, you look at those and decide whether you view this person to have financial soundness. So you create this fit and proper assessment. You then identify where there are gaps, because there should be some. Like I say, very rarely does the perfect candidate walk through the door. And where you have some gaps, that's your skills gap analysis. So there's going to be a few areas. You create a skills gap analysis which points those out. And then following that, you have a training plan. So those three documents are three important documents to then attach to your Form A, with the form you're filling on the Connect system, and send that off to the FCA alongside your statement of responsibilities. Now, this is a fair amount of documentation that does need to be completed correctly into the FCA's standard. So that's what our SMF application pack has, is templates for these documents that help you along the journey, including a kind of interactive statement of responsibilities, which you can pick prescribed responsibilities, etc., from the drop down just to help and guide you. And the fit and proper assessment works in a similar way. So do consider getting hold of those documents as a bit of a starting point. But nevertheless, I thought this video would be a useful overview for you of how it all works.